Alright guys, today we are going to talk about combining like terms. So I want to put yourself in the mindset of you can't sit with us. In order for you to sit with somebody, you got to have some commonalities and some things that work together, right? Some things that are relatable. So I want you to think about that as you're looking at an equation and looking, well, who can actually possibly sit with each other? So here's how this works. First step we want to do is categorize the information. We do that by taking a look at the problem. And the first thing we want to look at, are you a constant, which is just a number by itself? And what's your variable? And if you have any type of extra power or exponent attached to you. So we look at each term. Terms are everything between your pluses and your minuses. So the first term we have here is 4x to the third. So this 4 is called a coefficient. Right now we're going to leave the coefficient over there and just focus right on the end. So we got x to the third. So since we have x to the third, we're going to go ahead and make a group for that. Alright, next one here, it says x to the second power. Now although these both have x's, because they have different powers, they're different groups. So I'm going to go ahead and make an x to the second power group. Alright, and the 6 is just a number by itself, so that's a constant. So then we'll go ahead and make a group here for numbers only. Now some of you may think this is just called the hashtag sign for cool things on social media, but it's actually the number sign. So we're going to put that there for anything that's a number or a constant, which means it's just out there by itself. Alright, then we're going to look at this next one. We've got another negative 2x to the third, so we've already got a category for that. Already got a category for numbers, and we already have a category for this. So now we actually got to see, well, who can sit with who? Who's worthy of that company? So when we go back and look, we already know 4x to the third goes here. And we always want to start right to left because it allows us to set up our mini equations that gets us to the answer that much faster. And we use that plus or minus to tell us what type of operation we're going to do with that information. So if we look at this one, this is saying x squared. We know it goes into the second category. Now, I know what you're thinking. It doesn't have a coefficient next to it. Well, anytime something does not have a coefficient, we know that there's always at least one. So you can put your little imaginary 1 there so you'll know when you get there that that counts for 1. All right? So our next term here, we know it's going to be a positive, and it's just a constant. So it's just a number. So I'm going to put 6 here. All right? Then we have minus 2x to the third power. Well, we're going to go to the x to the third power category, and we're going to put minus 2x to the third power. See that, guys? We're already setting up equations. And then we have plus 3. Well, you know 3 is a constant, numbers alone, plus 3. And then we have plus 3x to the second power. Here we are. It goes over here, and we know it's an addition. So we successfully completed step 1, which is categorizing, telling people where they sit at. Second step we're going to do is solving. We're going to solve these little mini equations that we've now created. So I've already set this up because I worked with a right to left method, right? 4x to the third minus 2x squared. Now, in this case, we're just going to focus on the coefficient. Who did you bring with you, and what can it do? So it's almost like you can put a blind eye to the back here. Well, 4 minus 2. 4 minus 2, we know is going to be 2. And then we go ahead and stick that variable and exponent on it. Then we have x squared plus 3x squared. Well, we know that's 1. This gives us 4x squared. And then 6 plus 3 is 9. Awesome. So now we're at the last step. All we got to do is rewrite it all together, right? So we're going to lead with our highest exponent first, which is 2x to the third. And we know it's positive because it doesn't have a negative sign. This will also be added on because it's 4x to the third. And it does not have a negative sign. And then that's going to be positive because it doesn't have a negative sign. Plus 9. That's it. We just solved and combined like terms and simplified that expression.